Hey everybody, and welcome back to Life with Lolo. It is time for a weekly recap of Married at First Sight. All right, so I am 2 episodes behind, or three, because the episode came on tonight. Oh my god! But so this little video right here will just be like a conversation about Married at First Sight, and it'll be about episodes 11 and 12. I believe it is. Let me make sure. Yep. So episode 11 was Caution, Feelings Approaching, and episode 12 was Is There Someone Else? So I'm just going to have a brief conversation about the 2 episodes, and then tomorrow I will be all caught up and we will be on episode 13. I am sorry, y'all. It has been a crazy time. Before I get into all that, if you are not subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell to be notified when I drop new videos. And if you end up liking this video, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. All right, y'all, like I was about to say, it's been a crazy time. My daughter is in basketball, so they just finished up their season today. So like with pickups, drop-offs, basketball games, work, my business, they're still taking care of the kids and my social life. A girl been tired, okay? So I have been tired every time I get home because they got me driving to Timbuktu and who knows where. I've been tired, y'all. I've been tired. So you can see these, look at these bags under my eyes, child. But like I said, basketball season ended today. So I will have a little downtime because I will not have to go back to the school, come home from work, hurry up and rush back to the school, watch the game, or hurry up back to the school for pickup or after practice. So I won't have to do that. So that'll be one less thing I'll have to do. So I should be caught back up with these videos. So like I said, this video will just be like a conversation about what's been happening so far on Married at First Sight. And let me tell you, I watched episode 11. And I watched it on time. I did watch it on time. I watched it on time for what I do because I usually post it on Thursday. I watched it on Thursday. And I took my notes because I got my notes right here. I took them. And I literally did not feel the energy, the motivation, or anything to sit in front of this camera and give y'all a review on that episode. Because I'm getting sick of, I'm over it. I am basically over it. I am literally still here watching it so I can see the end. Because I done invested all this time in these episodes. So I really want to see who gonna stay together, who gonna be divorced. Like, we can already see who not gonna be together and who probably will be together. But what is 5 couples? I honestly, and I've been saying it since I started reviewing this season, I don't see any of them together. Even though Marla and Gil have been doing better, I really don't see them together. Like, I really don't. Like, something is going to happen where it's like they not going to be together. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm not in my regular office area. I am in my room because I did not feel like my other chair broke. Like, the lifting mechanism is... Yeah, so I'm down to one office chair right now. So, and I didn't feel like rolling the chair down in the hallway. So I was just like, you know what? We're going to set up this in my room real quick. And we're going to make it do what it do. But anyway, so I'm trying to get comfortable in this area because it's not a very little, it's like a tight little corner. Well, it's not tight, but I got my desktop computer there and then my computer over there where I be playing my games at, so it's kind of like this corner is a little occupied. But at any rate, y'all, let's talk about Rachel and Jose. So in episode 11, they were able to go out, get some drinks together, and kind of talk about what happened in episode 10 where he locked her out the house. So it seemed like they got back on the right track where they are able to talk to each other and communicate and stuff. He was hemming and hawing over this apology because she was asking for this apology. He finally gave her an apology, and that was just like, oh yeah, okay, thank you. We can work on this so we can be better for her. So, and the episode 11, I don't know why people say about to say 10. Episode 11, they all celebrated their 1-month anniversary. Rachel and Jose, he ended up taking her to a ballpark or it was just them two, and he was just like throwing balls at her and stuff, pitching stuff, and she was catching it. She had like a good time. And it seemed like they was doing good. They were he was realizing that he was not a good communicator, and he realized that he failed at multiple things that he did in episode 10, whereas he locked the door. He said he wasn't going to lock the door, and he was going to be less controlling. And this episode and last week's episode 11, they really didn't have many scenes together, which I thought was ironic, but they didn't really have many scenes together. But he's still on this whole, he don't want to travel. His travel ideas is different from hers. She want to go to Europe. We already know she want to go to Europe. He want to go to Texas and see the hilly hills. That's hilly. I'm like, but if the hills is hilly, ain't they going to be hilly? Like, what is he doing, sir? Like, go to Europe. Like, go, why you want to travel in state and stuff? Like y'all already live in Texas. He's talking about he want to hop in a car and go to Texas because Texas is big and you can see all different types of hills, because that hill over there might not be the same hill as that hill. A hill is a hill is a hill, sir. She don't want to be in Texas traveling. She want to go out the country, do some things, explore, see new things, like open up your mind and your horizon. She want to use a passport. Do he not have a passport? Is that why he's scared to travel? Like, make it make sense, child. Make it make sense. But they seem to be getting along. What else? They did go to the winery in last week's episode. I'm sorry, y'all. Something is in my eye. They did go to a winery. She was excited because this was the first time she went to a winery with her husband. They had like maybe 5 or 6 glasses of wine, and they was like healthy samples. I said, "Oh, what kind of wine tasting is this?" Because usually they give you like a little bit and you swish it and stuff, but they had some healthy samples. And I don't know if she was drunk, but she was just basically telling him like he need to be careful because she's an educator, and of course she has the summers off, so she's saying like she likes to travel in the summertime, and she hasn't been with in a relationship in the summertime, I guess. I was just like, well, what happened to the 6-year relationship? Did y'all like break up during the summertime? Like, what happened? But she said she liked to travel and stuff like that. And of course, again, he don't want to travel. So she like, if I gotta stay in the house and I'm just sitting in the house all day, I'm gonna be bored, and you better watch out or whatever. You better, what did she say? Because I think I wrote it down. She told him to brace himself. I said, what? And then she said something about him not being able to criticize her, because if he does, she gonna jump out and all this other stuff, because, and then he's scared because her go-to in the past was, if the relationship not going well, she'll just bounce and leave. And you could kind of see that episode 10 where she was about to leave, but she did come back in the room, sit down, talk to him, and, try to work it out, because she honestly could have left after that, after he blew up and did all that other stuff, but she chose to stay. So he can't always say like her go-to is the run, when in fact she actually stayed. So that was, like she was doing the opposite of what she usually do in the past, because I think she's serious about this relationship. But that was pretty much it for Rachel and Jose. I don't care how happy they are right now. I honestly still do not think they will be together because of him wanting to be so controlling. And I'm gonna watch tonight's episode tomorrow, because they're sitting down with Dr. Pepper and stuff, and Dr. Pepper ended up telling him that he can be controlling. So I really want to see what he going to say, because he act like he not controlling when everybody can see that he is. So I'm just like, okay. But again, I still don't see them staying together. I honestly don't. Let's move on to Gil and Marla. They really ain't had nothing last episode, and I'm trying to see, because I don't really feel like I wrote anything on them this episode. No, not too much. They're bonding, and they are getting along better than the couples who got along in the beginning. So they did like a whole 180, where it was like she was kind of standoffish, and then he was kind of like, well, do she even like me type thing, to now it's being like they are the top runners in the couples because they took their time. And that's what I'm getting from it. I'm getting from it that they took their time. She didn't fall into like peer pressure or anything like that. Is when she was not ready to do X, Y, and Z, she just didn't do it. And she told him, like, she communicated with him, like, this is not what I want to do right now. And he was patient enough to respect her and stuff like that. So I feel as though they are in a better place now than they were before, because they did take their time versus rushing into everything, and they tried to get to know each other before they did other things. So in the last episode, one second, y'all, my dang paper done fell on. All right, y'all, I'm back. So in the last episode, let me see. They did salsa dancing, which I felt was really, really cute. They actually invited Zach and Michaela to go salsa dancing with them. Michaela was kind of like standoffish. At first, I guess she was scared. In the car, when they drove over, she was saying like she ain't never salsa danced before. I think Zach may have salsa danced, but she didn't or whatever. So she was kind of nervous. They get in there. Michaela all kind of stand off. Well, first she was dancing. Then she was just like, all right, I'm going to sit down. Zach dancing with the damn instructor. And Gil and Mirla, of course, they getting it. They boom, boom, ba-da, bop, boom, ba-da, bing, bing, bow. They doing it, okay? So they sit down, all four of them, at the end. They sit down and they talking. And Gil was basically asking Zach and Michaela questions, like asking Michaela like why she didn't participate in the salsa dancing and stuff. And she said what she said. What did she say? She said something. I don't know what she had said, but she had said something. It's not really about Michaela. I'll probably remember what she said when I get to them. But Gil was just like, he was, if that was Mirla, he'd have been like, why she ain't dance and stuff. He would have felt some type of way. Like I said, they were celebrating their 1 month anniversary. He ended up taking her to a winery and having like a picnic set up and her favorite cookies, the macaroons and stuff like that. She was speechless and she was just like, this is so beautiful, stuff like that. And what else? They were saying like everything was going well and like she's still kissing them and stuff like that. And the episode 11, we did find out they still have not had sex because he sat down with his friend Christian and they was talking and he said they still have not had sex, but they're more affectionate with each other, which is good. She did set up a sexy night in episode 11 where she had candles on the floor, rose petals and stuff. He came in talking about something. My wife trying to burn down. She trying to be romantic and burn down the house at the same time. I thought that was funny because he a firefighter. And then he ended up having matching t-shirts for them that said, hers said, I have everything I need, and hers had said, I am everything. So it was cute. She was happy. She wanted to put the shirts on and stuff. And then they looked at their photo book, their photo album, their wedding photo album, and then they looked over their vows and stuff like that. And then it was just really cute. And then in the last week's episode, they were both talking about the future. He was telling her that his lease was coming up. And at first she was joking like, well, don't, re-sign that lease or whatever. But in reality, she was like, okay, we can get apartments together. He went out and looked for apartments. She was talking to her friend and telling her friend about the apartments. And the friend was like, well, don't be turning him into being bougie. She was like, I already think he is because he liked the fancier apartment versus the other one or whatever. And before he went out to go look for apartments, he was all telling her like, well, I don't like apartments that are sky rises, and I don't like apartments that got parking garages or concierges. And I said, well, damn, what kind of apartments you want? Like, you want a duplex? Like, what? But then he was looking at apartments and he was talking about he wanted the gym had the mirror where you work out with the person in the mirror. It had this fancy pool, the jacuzzi, a picnic. Like, he liked that. But 2 seconds ago, he was talking about he didn't like all that. And then we saw where she actually was liking the dog. And now she wanted her own damn dog. I said, girl, for her not to be talking about something, she don't want no doggy, she don't want no doggy. Now she want a dog. But I think their biggest issue, because he had brought it up in last week's episode where he was saying like she still won't give up her lifestyle, and that's a little concerning for him. And my thing is, why is that still concerning when she make the money to do the things that she want to do, and she can put the money in that you can benefit from that too? So what's the issue, Gil? Like, I still don't understand what the issue is. Brett and Ryan, they just need to go. They need to go, y'all. I'm so tired of Brett. I'm so tired. I'm not Brett. I'm tired of Ryan. That's what I'm tired of. I'm tired of Ryan. Ryan don't know what he want. He ain't know what he wanted I want to say episode 1, whenever they got married, episode 2, he saw her and saw beauty and stuff like that. But then it was just like, I don't know when the light switch clicked, though. I don't know what happened, but now he like, oh, I'm not sure if I want her. I'm not sure if I want to be with her and all this other stuff. But he playing games and he just won't say that out loud to her. He keeps saying, well, I'm waiting for this feeling. I'm waiting for this feeling. Like, won't you just tell her you're not into her? And even she says that, like, if he's not into me, just tell me you're not into me. Like, don't beat around the bush with this shit. So, let me see. Episode 11. Let me see, child. Episode 11, like I said, it was their, I'm about to say 50th anniversary, child. Let me get it together. It was their 1 month anniversary. And unfortunately, well, when it first opened up, he gave her a card. And was it her? No, he gave her a card and it was like a scavenger hunt. So she was looking through the house for different things. And then he ended up, the prize was like this gift card and stuff like that. During that same episode, her dog got sick. Or I think her dog had a seizure or something. Her dog got sick and she had to take it to the vet. The vet told her that, something was wrong with the dog. And then she ended up having to put the dog down. So that was a big part of her life. That was her fur baby. So she was really feeling really emotional about it and stuff. And Ryan was saying like he was there for her. He understood and whatever. He was, supportive for her and everything like that. For his gift to her for the 50th anniversary, he brought her to a movie theater. It was just them two in there. And he had their wedding up on the screen. It was real romantic, real pretty, real something like, oh, babe, look at this, look at what we've been through, whatever. But he wasn't even feeling her. He wasn't really, he was saying like he thought the movie was going to spark something, but it still ain't sparked nothing. And he don't know what he want to do and yada, yada, yada. His feelings is lesser than when they first got together. Like, you playing games, my man. You playing real big games and stuff. And then even in this episode, he was still like not wanting to be with her, not really feeling her, whatever. She was saying like how everybody had gave her, flowers and stuff for the dog, the dog passing and stuff. His dog ended up eating the damn flowers. I said, first of all, why is that big ass dog on the table? Like, this damn dog the size of a human, and you got him on the table. Like, come on now. That's just like a whole child being on a damn kitchen table. Why? Just why? Is we about to eat the child? No, we not. Wait, no, that's cannibalism. We can't do that. So why is the dog on child? Anyway, I do not like pets. The tables. Anyway, he met with Zach and they was working out and he was telling Zach like, it's just not working. Like, it's just not working. And he gonna assume that Brett know that it's not working. And Zach was like, well, you can't just assume that she know it's not working. Like, we human beings with feelings. Like, you gotta sit down and talk to her and let her know like what it is or whatever. And Brett feel like she close to tapping out because she like, I'm doing everything I need to do, but he's still not into it. And he just won't say he not into me or whatever. Child, she took him out to like this American Warrior type jank. And they invited Jose and Rachel. And they all had like a good time. He was really having a good time because that was in his element. And she was trying and stuff. Because you can tell that she not really all that, she don't really work out or do all that lifting and all that other stuff. But she was trying and stuff. And it was like a good time. Child, at the end of the damn episode, he's sitting on the couch talking to her and he's telling her like he hasn't been able to sleep or something like that. And I don't know where my dang note at, where I think I just tuned out maybe. Maybe that's what happened. So I think I tuned out. So they sitting on a couch and he basically talking about somehow he ain't got no sleep. He can't really sleep and they sleeping in the same bed. And instead of just saying like he wants to sleep in different beds to give them space or whatever, he hemming and hawing, and then she finally was like, well, you want me to sleep in the other room? He was like, yeah, you can take the comforter because the comforter will be comfortable. You couldn't just say that you ain't want to sleep in the bed with her, like you wanted to sleep in the other room so you get some sleep because you uncomfortable in the bed with her because you don't feel like the relationship going nowhere. He just him and haw. Just say what it is. Just say what it is and stop acting like you like her, but you really don't. Like, he is so annoying. Like, he is a whole ass. Like, he's And also he met with his sister, and that's what it was. He met with his sister, and he was just basically saying that Brett is messy. And Brett is messy as hell. Like, that bathroom was atrocious. That closet was atrocious. But the sister was like, well, if it was a Victoria's Secret model and she was just as messy, would you have a problem with it? He's talking about something. He would probably go in the kitchen and smile. So you got a problem with Brett, the way she looked, the way she acted, whatever like that. Like, he is trash. I don't like him. The sister was like, well, I thought he would have been transitioned into marriage by now, but it don't seem like he on that wavelength or whatever like that. He just not into it. And to me, it seemed like he shouldn't have got married. Like, it just seemed like he shouldn't have got married. And it also seemed like Johnny shouldn't have got married either. Because we about to go on to Johnny. Because Johnny really getting on my nerves. But before we get to Johnny, should I just go to Zach and Michaela? Let's go to Zach and Michaela because I got a whole lot to say about Johnny and Val. Let's go to Zach and Michaela. So, like I said, they went salsa dancing with Gil and Mirla in episode 10. No, not 10. 11. I'm sorry, y'all. Episode 11, they went salsa dancing with them, and I told you that she had stepped back or whatever. She didn't want to do it or whatever. And Zach had asked her, like, why you didn't want to do it? She was like, well, I didn't want to do what I just didn't want to do it. Like, he was like, well, was it the steps? Was it this? Was it how? Was it? She was like, no, I just didn't want to do it. And he was just like, okay. And that's when Gil was like, well, why didn't you try it with him and stuff? And she was like, well, I did try it. He was like, well, you didn't try like the whole thing. And she thought about it and she was like, yeah, you right or whatever. I could have did better and stuff like that. I could have stepped it up. And then Zach, Lord have mercy. Michaela had said something about the marriage being stale. Like, it was just like at a pause or whatever, like a plateau or whatever like that. And Zach seemed like he was confused. And I'm like, Zach, why are you confused? Because in episode 10, you had just told this girl that you ain't seen no future with y'all two. But now you seem confused that she just felt like y'all at this plateau and y'all not moving forward and y'all just there or whatever. And he was looking all confused, like, well, what you mean? And she was like, well, you said the marriage was doubtful and stuff like that, and she wanted to see somebody who want to have a future with her or whatever. She want to be wanted. So then they started talking about that or whatever, and he was saying, well, I didn't mean to say. He was basically gaslighting her, like, to the T. And talking about something, well, I didn't say that. I mean, I might see a future with us or whatever. Like, one day I'll see a future. Like, you don't see no future. Just say that. You don't see no future. Your mind already made up. You're just playing this right now because this is what you got to do. You don't want to lose this check that you finna get from Married at First Sight. So here you are right now playing in our goddamn faces. Because I'm tired of it. So, anyway, I'm tired of it. She had ended up planning this romantic dinner, and they had a good time. They had a good time with this little dinner or whatever like that. She had a room with a piano in it, and he played piano, so it was like a little good time with them too. And she said she felt like the relationship has been on a roller coaster, but she's learning a lot from the relationship, and she's learning how to get out of her own way, how to stop self-sabotaging and stuff like that. And what else, child? They was saying, what did he say? It was like something like, what don't you like about me or something like that. And she said she didn't have any negatives. And I said, girl. And then he said his negative is her blasting music at 12:30 at night. Like, she just busts out with some gangster rap. And he like, well, damn, we trying to sleep and you up here having a goddamn day party. Like, what is you doing? So she said that's how she think. So anyway, they had a romantic night at this hotel room and stuff. They kind of reenacted their wedding. And then, they was going bow chickie wow wow child. But then they ended up bow chickie wow wow. And that caused them to be hungry. So they went out and got some Cajun food. So it was a good time. In this episode, they really didn't have too many issues. They went to do this bubble ball thing. They looked fun. They was bouncing off each other, playing soccer with the bubble balls and stuff like that. She asked him when was the happiest time. he said when, you know, like she was in the middle of the circle and all his friends was dancing around her and stuff like that. So that was a happy time for him. And then she said when he came home after being quarantined and stuff on the honeymoon. So that was their good time, whatever. She was meeting her sister, and then in the conversation with her sister, and this is episode 12, y'all. In a conversation with her sister, she ended up saying that she was in love with Zach, but we had already kind of knew that, because I think she had said that early on that she was in love with him, but she did say that she was in love with him, and then she said that, you know, being in love with him is helping her grow and find herself, and her sister was kind of amazed at her growth and how Michaela is communicating a little bit more and, you know, being more vocal and stuff. And her sister was saying like she has, you know, she grown and stuff like that. And then they sat down, and later on, Michaela and Zach sat down in their apartment, and they was hanging up this picture. The picture was crooked, but she said it looked good. I was like, okay, maybe that's an inside joke. And then they was scrapbooking together, child. So, and then they wrote some little corny poems to each other. I mean, it was cute. My thing is, I don't think they're gonna last. Like, this just seems forced, and it doesn't seem authentic to me. It just seems forced. Zach wants this perfect girl. Michaela is not perfect. No one is perfect. However, he thinks that somebody is perfect, and that's the same thing with Johnny. Johnny wants this perfect person, but yeah, he's not perfect himself, and it's just confusing to me because it's like, you know, ain't nobody out there in this world perfect except for God, and he not even in this world. Like, he, you know what I mean? Like, why do you feel like a human being is going to be perfect? Like, if there was this perfect woman out there or this perfect person out there, like a perfect, not just a perfect person for you, then you would have already felt this person. And it seemed like they don't want the perfect people for them. They want perfection, and that's so annoying, and it's just like really irritating me. And I'm like, if I wasn't about to watch Sisters, I would watch this in tonight's episode just to see what's all these tears and stuff about when they're talking to Dr. Pepper, because it's like really irritating me, and I don't understand like what's going on. And also, I forgot to mention that Zach had brought Michaela a Tiffany bracelet on their 1 month anniversary, so it was real cute. She was like, "Oh yes, keep this coming." So it was real cute. Let's go on to Val and Johnny. So they in episode 11, they went skydiving for their 30th 30 day 1 month anniversary, child. 1 month anniversary. And he says in his marriage, he wants to be spontaneous, he wants to cherish the moment, find special things in each other. He was talking to her about how he wants to build up sex, like he wants to talk about stuff during the day, and when they come home from work or see each other, it's like, pow, let's do it on the floor or whatever like that, because they've been building up to sex. So I'm like, oh, okay. She tells him that she wants him to touch her more, but you know, it's not, he is the type of person where it's like, oh, I want you to touch me, I want you to touch me. He won't reciprocate unless everything is going well for him or whatever like that. What else? She said that she wanted more cuddles. He was making up excuses because all the cuddles and stuff. Well, you know, this is that and this is that and stuff like that. And she was getting upset because he won't do stuff first. Like, he won't initiate stuff. He want her to initiate, and she's not used to that. But it should be like a 50-50 to me. Like, you initiate some stuff, he initiates some stuff. Be spontaneous. He want a spontaneous relationship, but yet he not willing to be spontaneous. Like, make that make sense. He went to go visit his friend, and his friend was saying like Johnny was not into the marriage or whatever like that. And we all see Johnny is not into the marriage. They all had this group dinner. 1 second, y'all. Hey, y'all, I'm back. I'm sorry. Anyway, they had this group dinner. Like, everybody came down, you know, it was set up by production and stuff like that. They had this big ass group dinner. Everybody was, was, having a good ass time at the group dinner and stuff. They was going around saying like, how they feel about their partner and stuff like that. Zach was saying like he'll do anything for Michaela. And she was telling us that she said she already loves Zach, and she thinks she got the man she needs and stuff like that. Gil was happy for them. Mirla said she was refreshed by Zach and Michaela's change. Rachel was telling them like she, shared that she loved Jose and stuff like that. We already knew all that. What else happened? Ryan, he going around the table, he comparing couples and stuff like that, when in fact he need to be focused on his own relationship with Brett and stop comparing the relationships. He stopped comparing, maybe he can get his mind right and stuff like that. But at any rate, like, who is me to tell him what to do? He said that he cares about Brett. If you cared about Brett, then you would stop playing mind games with Brett and just let Brett know you don't really like her. But at any rate, let's see. Gil, what was Gil saying? I don't know. Gil says he on the road to loving Mirla. That's what it was. Ryan said that Gil is already there, like he already in love, but he too scared to say he in love with Mirla or whatever like that. And I feel as though that could be true. Mirla did say that she was in love with Gil. And then we get to Val and Johnny. So, Val talking. Johnny said they're ripping these rose petals. They got all these roses on the table or whatever like that. Johnny just ripping the rose petals all up in here. I said, what the rose petals do to Johnny? Like, why is these people, like in the episode, Michaela busting up Lysol wipes, like what them wipes do to you, girl? Now in this episode, Johnny killing the damn roses, like what the roses do to you, Johnny? They ain't did nothing to you. You mad at Bow, but you upset with the rose petals. But whatever. She's saying like she cook all these gourmet meals and she doing all this extra. When she, in fact, did say that she, because her friend was like, well, because they had met with their friends earlier, and she was telling her friend like she wants these meals and stuff like that, and her friend was like, well, do you do it? And she was like, well, no, not all the time. So okay, you say you don't do it all the time, but here at this group dinner, you saying that you do the gourmet meals and all this other stuff. Like, which one is it, Bow? Why we lying? So Johnny mad that Bow up here lying and stuff. So he get up, he leave, because he's talking about something. Well, they was like, well, Johnny, like, what you gotta say? Oh, like, how you feeling and stuff. He was like, well, I got a lot to say, but I need to say it to my partner. Then he get up and leave. He go outside. Jose go talk to him. Johnny going, oh, she lying. She talking about something. She cook all these gourmet meals. She lying. Why she lying? And yada, yada, yada. So he mad. Shall they go home? The next day, or episode 12, I shall say, she feeling deflated. She feel like, she just deflated, like everything that she do is not enough, and he is not communicating with her or whatever. But she says she's not gonna give up. She gonna continue to romance her husband and stuff like that. She end up cooking and stuff. They sitting down eating, and Johnny is saying like he real 50-50 about the relationship because Bow be lying and stuff, and she like he asked her like, what do you feel like your 100% is and stuff, and she was like, well, I do this, I cook, I do your laundry, I do this, I do that and stuff like that. And he like, well, my women, he said your 100% is equal to my 150%. And she was like, well, I feel like as though I'm consistent. He was like, well, you're not consistent. She said, I'm consistent when I'm constantly thinking about you. I'm consistently doing your laundry. She was like, well, I don't ask you to do that. She like, well, I'm doing this, so I don't ask you to do that. I'm doing it, I don't ask you to do that. I do that too. I do this. Like, he always want to compare and then double up. But she's trying to tell you what she do, and you not even appreciating what the hell she do in the relationship. Now, if you want to ask her to do more or something like that, or you can do this different, X, Y, Z, then say that. But don't just discount what she doing. Don't just say, oh, she not doing this, she not doing this. When in fact, she is trying to do something. She's trying to show you love and affection and caring in a way that she know how. But if it's not your way, tell her that's not your way. Tell her that you like this or whatever. But no, you want to just discount and discredit everything this girl is doing, and that's bullshit to me. What else? And then she said that she was like, well, I care in a different way and stuff like that. And like I said, she was saying like she do all this stuff. So he was like, well, you don't initiate going out. You don't initiate gifts. You don't initiate this. You don't initiate stuff. She was like, well, I do little things. And she was like, well, I do little things. And it feel like you just want like this grand gesture to feel like I'm doing something or whatever like that. And she like, well, give me credit for the stuff I do or whatever instead of complaining about me. And then he started getting mad. He don't want to finish the conversation because she called him out like, give me credit for what I do and not complaining about me. Like, hello. So then he get up, he get mad, he walk out. She's sitting there looking like, I cannot believe this shit. He come back and say, I don't think we're compatible. And, we just had a disagreement. She was like, well, yeah, it's a disagreement and we not going to be compatible or everything. We going to have disagreements. Like, it's nothing wrong with us having disagreements and stuff like that. He was just like, I just don't understand why we're so different in how we approach things and stuff. Like, he's an emotional abuser and I do not like Johnny. Like, Johnny. So then Johnny, we thinking they talking and stuff like that because she's saying like she going, work on and stuff. And she right there. She's staying in this struggle. She's staying in this struggle. Girl, get off the struggle bus, okay? But she want to stay on the struggle bus. That night, he ends up leaving. Big shocker. They got this barbecue to go to, this family barbecue, his uncle's birthday, uncle somebody, Uncle Frank. Uncle Frank having a barbecue, a crawfish broil, and all this other stuff, child. He invited her to go, but now, she was like, oh, I need to memorize everybody's name. So she's taking into account, like, I need to memorize everybody's name. I want to make sure I respect them. I need to make sure I introduce myself. Like, she doing all this stuff, this prep and whatever. Child, he called her up and tell her he don't want her to go to the barbecue. I said, what? So he at the barbecue, right? And they like, well, where Bow at? He like, well, we need to work on ourselves before we before she can come to the barbecue and stuff like that, because I just want high school romance and all this other stuff. And they was like, well, what is what's she doing or whatever? And well, what do you think she doing at home? He was like, well, she probably in the bed texting and stuff. This girl up here meal prepping for the whole damn week. Bow, come here and meal prep for me, sweetheart. Because, so then he want a high school romance. The uncle or somebody was like, well, you're not in high school no more and you going to have real issues because you don't know her. So you got to get to know her and stuff like that. And if she trying, you got to try with her or whatever. The auntie sit down with him and the auntie talking to him. And he gonna tell the auntie he got these high expectations that she not meeting. And the auntie like, well, you can't go into this with all these expectations. Of course she not gonna meet these high expectations that you put out for her. Like, who gonna meet them? And so he's just like, well, I don't feel like she the one for me or whatever like that. I don't like the way she thinks. I don't like stuff she do. And the more I learn about her, the less I like about her. Emotional abuser. So anyway, they finally meet with Pastor Kyle, child, and he just set me off in so many ways. Not Pastor Kyle, Johnny. So because Johnny's sitting there looking all sad. I said, like, come on now. Like, now you just being with the dramatics and stuff. Like, come on, my G. So he all sad, and Pastor Kyle like, well, why you sad and stuff like that? He like, I'm sad because I feel like the person I'm married to is not right for me or whatever. And he tells her, Pastor Kyle, they had a barbecue and he ain't want her to meet the family. The real reason he ain't want her to meet the family because he don't want the family to get attached to her and he don't even like her. He playing out saying he ain't like her. Rude, disrespectful, ignorant asshole. Like, he is a whole asshole. This woman is sitting right here. She is in the fight with you. If you don't like her, you don't like her. But you don't have to be degrading. You do not have to be degrading. You do not say degrading. You do not have to be degrading. Like, at all. Like, at all. Like, but that's what he is. And so then Pastor Kyle was like, because she was like, well, why don't you like her? He was like, well, I don't think she's genuine and stuff. And so she like, well, why am I not genuine? He was like, well, you said we cook these gourmet meals and we ain't cook these gourmet meals, you lying. And she was like, well, I did cook a gourmet meal. I did cook, I did bake, I did do this. And he like, well, when did you cook it? She was like, we cooked it together. And like, she cooking, ain't she? So then he like, well, something he said. And so Pastor Kyle was like, well, is that true? Is that true? He wouldn't even answer the question because you got caught right there. Like, you know she doing stuff, like, but you're not going to give her credit for what she doing. So then Pastor Kyle was like, well, is there someone else? Because you seem to have your attention real split. And so then Bob was like, well, wow, I didn't really think it could be somebody else. Like, is there somebody else or whatever? He hemming and hawing, hesitation, don't want to answer the question and stuff like that. He finally say, no, it's not somebody else, but I don't claim it's nobody else or whatever, but I just compare her to this ideal person that I should be with. And then he had a nerve to say, I feel as though I could have been married to anybody else but her, or something like that. I said, oh, you're just gonna be rude. Like, oh, okay. And so Pastor Kyle was like, well, you need to, there is no ideal woman, there is no perfect person, and the perfect person that we matched you up with is the imperfect person for you. But you need to give this relationship a chance, you need to give it a try and stuff like that. And he wants perfection. He's not going to get perfection. So then he did turn around to her, because Pastor Kyle told him to say this, that he was going to give the relationship a shot. Bullshit. And then he said at the end, when they was like in bed, he gonna tell her, well, I feel like we should have had a conversation before Pastor Kyle, because I wasn't ready for that conversation. And then now he's making it seem like he was thrown off guard, like he ain't prep enough. So what, you was going to prep and lie in front of Pastor Kyle? Like, that conversation in front of Pastor Kyle was good because you was able to be authentic and tell the real, because if you had prepped and all this other stuff, it would have been all this bullshit and all this other stuff. So it was just crazy. So now he all like, I wasn't ready to talk to Pastor Kyle, and I don't feel like we should have had that discussion and all this other stuff. They had like this conversation. I tuned out because Johnny was irritating me. And the next thing I know, they having like this pillow fight. All I know is they is not going to be together. They is not going to be together at all. And it's not going to shock me when at decision day he say no, but watch, she going to say yes. And I'm going to be like, come on now, Val, you deserve way better. This man has told you to your face that he don't like you, that you not for him, and all this other stuff. And that's fine and dandy if you got a preference, but you can't keep comparing her to some invisible perfect person. You done dated 300 people and you still ain't find nobody. Maybe the problem is you. Anyway, y'all, that is the end of my discussion about Married at First Sight. That was episode 11 and 12. I will have episode 13 up tomorrow, so stand by for that. And I will also have Sisters posted tomorrow as well. I will try to get Love After Lockup because I am behind on that too. I will try to have like a whole combined session of Love After Lockup. Probably on Friday, so look out for that. And then I think I am all caught up. Yes, I believe I'm all caught up after this week. But anyway, thank y'all for sticking with me. Thank y'all for looking at this long ass review recap, but it was 2 episodes, so thank you for that. Also, if you are not subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button along with the notification bell to be notified when I drop new videos. And if you ended up liking this video, please go ahead and hit that thumbs up button along with the share button. All right, y'all, until next time, peace.